One thing that I think plays a huge role in shaping you to be the person who you want to be or the person you're going to eventually become is the people that you actually spend a lot of time with. I feel like the phrase often is said about how you are the average of the five people around you, and I kind of like I didn't take it seriously, but then it is very true. Like sometimes I used to think about people, like the people that I actually know, and it's actually ridiculous how closely similar or how ridiculously similar they are to the people that they often spend time with. Usually their friends and stuff. They talk the same way. They literally do the same. They find interest in doing the exact same things. They live life almost like freaking carbon copy of each other. And it's like it's kind of genuinely mind-boggling. And then to come to think of it, like, we love being around people, we love being validated, we don't like being alone, we can't stand being alone. I mean, when I was in school, I used to always be alone, and this was like one of the most difficult things. This has been one of the most difficult things throughout my entire life, literally being alone. And you might think, oh, being alone is an issue for you. Be alone for a period of time, and then you'll realize it's not even a case of just being alone. It's just something in you feels like society makes it feel like, oh, you need to be around people, you need to be around people, and they'll often find something wrong with you if you're not around people. And this was the case with me. And then eventually I started doing these things, just to, fit in with these people. I used to do what they used to do, because as a kid, I was never, for some reason, I was never interested in video games. I was never interested in freaking talking about girls and stuff at ninth and 10th grade. And for some reason, that was what everyone else did. And it got to a stage where people kept asking, why are you alone? Why are you so boring, man? Why are you so lonely? And it kind of gets annoying when people ask you. I'm not making this up. Like, people used to genuinely ask me this. Every time I went to a freaking parents teachers meeting thing, they used to be like, your kid, everything's fine except he's a tad too quiet. I often in my mind I'd be thinking, is that an issue for you? But whatever, right? And I started laughing at them. I tried to joke about the same things as them, but it got too exhausting after a point, because you're trying to kind of not be yourself. They're trying to portray another version of yourself just to just get in with these people. It got too exhausting, and it was like, I can't do this. And then I stopped doing it. And then my guy got lonely again. got lonely again. But yeah, I basically kind of gave up trying to fit in with these people just for the sake of it. And sometimes, it did hurt, because like imagine being in a classroom full of 30 people, and then you have to kind of pretend that you're okay being alone, even though you're really not. And then, you have people here and there coming and asking, do you want to join us and stuff like that. And it's like, it's cool, but then it's like, it feels very weird when people come and ask you those kind of stuff, or it felt weird for me. And but I'll tell you one thing, I think looking back, I am kind of happy with the fact that I do not force myself to continue going with these people, because I don't want to really explain what the average person my age does and how they live their life. And I certainly am glad I'm not going to be living their life, or I'm not living the life like them right now. And that's not to insult them, that's not, you know what, yeah, I am insulting them, I don't freaking care. I go outside, and I really struggle to find people my age even 0.1% into the things that I am. And I'm not trying to make it sound like I'm better than them or I'm somehow bigger than them. But when you don't find people that are kind of on the same path as you or direction as you, the same mindset as you, there's no real point in spending time with them, because all that's going to do is they're going to bring you down. You may not even realize it, but though, like literally, I did not realize how much these people had an impact on me. These people who, when I was in school, and then the moment I left them or got away from them, it was genuinely like kind of right at my face as to the kind of things that they kind of put in my mind. I used to kind of think of things that I would never think of, talk certain words that I would have never, like talked if I was just my usual self. And you may not realize it, your friends or your people you're spending time with, you kind of, the thing is, when you know that they're not on the same path or direction as you, and you're forcing yourself to be with them, you will know this. It's not something I have to come and tell you, or someone has to come and tell you. You would know it deep inside. And after a point, like, you start to question yourself, like, why are you doing it? Why are you just doing it? And instead of continue doing it, you need to just call it off. Like, don't be with people who are not on the same path as you, because it's not going to do any good for you. It's only going to drag you down. They're going to tempt you to things that you don't want to do. They're going to try and force you to be another person who you're not. And like I said, you know what my channel is about. It's for the most part trying to improve yourself in every aspect possible. And when you kind of, again, I'm not trying to talk like I'm better than everyone, but that's the kind of person I am. I don't waste my time still doing some nonsense stuff that has no kind of benefit towards me. Yeah, I'll do stuff that I enjoy, but then it's not pointless, you know. It's not like I'm freaking outside sitting and vaping. Like you may find that fun, but I'm sorry, there's a limit to as to how much harmful fun can be, and I'm not willing to do that. And if, you know, people around my age find that fun and I have to fit in, I have to do those things to fit in with them, I'd rather not, you know. I generally get comments like people saying, you know, you're very boring because I don't do these things, and I'm like, I'll be boring, I don't really care. I'm not stupid like you. I don't tell them I'm not stupid like you, but then it's kind of the truth, you know. But yeah, I keep saying but anyways, point is, don't spend time with people just for the sake of it. If you can sense that they're not on the same, especially if you're trying to get better, you have a goal, you have something, you know, you're trying to actually do something purposeful in life, don't let yourself be with these people just for the sake of it, just because society forces you to, just because you have the fear of, oh, I'm going to be alone. Because I'll tell you one thing, you know, when you're interested in a specific field, that's very, what do I say, very rare, or not that a lot of people are interested in it. It's obvious that you're going to kind of be lonely for a while. Like, think of it, like 90% of the world is not doing that, and when you're doing it, it's kind of like you are kind of meant to be lonely for a while. It's natural, it's going to happen. But I'll tell you one thing, when you actually like keep persisting with it and you become successful at it, eventually you will meet people who are interested in the same things as you are, in that same kind of field. You will, it's almost inevitable. Go and listen to every successful person's story, especially ones that, you know, have done a lot of interviews and stuff. I have, and often all of them, like 99% of them, have been through a phase where, like, literally a bunch, or like years together, they've barely, like, literally spoken to people. They've barely had any friends. And I think that's to show, you know, that when you're interested in something, you're focused on something that a lot of people are not, and you're just kind of on a different life path to everyone else, you are bound to go through a phase where you're kind of lonely, you kind of don't have friends. And it's like, it's not like you kind of you're not, it's not that you can't speak to people, but then at the same time, speaking to a lot of people is very difficult because you can't freaking relate to them. You absolutely can't relate to them. You listen to some stuff that they say and they do, and you're like, yeah, yeah, that is. Don't force yourself to be with people. To put it in simplest terms, in simple terms. On the same, if you are somehow lucky and you're focused on improving yourself, you actually have a goal and you're doing something purposeful in your life, and you actually find people who are interested in the same things as you are, I think the gym is a great place that you will probably, if at all you're going to find people who are like-minded like you, it's probably there. But if you're lucky enough to do that, that's great. You know, continue being with friends with them. I'm not asking you to be alone. The point of this video is not preaching you to be alone. The point of this video is to get rid of people in your life who are actually subconsciously or unintentionally ruining your life and dragging you down. I used to kind of force myself to be with these kind of people, and eventually realize, nah, you know, I don't need these kind of people in my life. I'm better off being alone. But yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.